Well, it's my honor now to introduce our speaker, Carylanne. I went to Carylanne's website to get some background material on you, Carylanne. And the first thing I read was, she said, "On the path, the one truth that I know is love heals." And that certainly talked to me. Age 26, Carylanne had a near-death experience which really changed her whole life. For the first time, she really was spiritually awakened. And to quote her, she says, "I awakened into my gifts of the Spirit, began to see all of life in a whole new way, and to experience synchronistic events that led me to seek spiritual teachings and to discover my true self and express her to the world." And then in 1993, she was encouraged by her Reiki master down in Florida to come just visit the ARE. Well, that visit turned into a relocation in Virginia Beach, as has happened to so many people over the years. ARE brings so many of us here. And she enrolled in the Casey Riley School of Masotherapy. She says this is where her professional studies in holistic health, spiritual teaching, and energy healing training began. And that brings her up to where we're at today. Carylanne has a healing practice. She says she offers spiritual life coaching, healing hands, guided meditations, energy treatments, and transformative seminars. I personally, a couple of years ago when I had some surgery, went to Carylanne and she did energy healing, and it was very, very helpful. So it's, and the best thing though she does is she gives fantastic talks at the Fellowship of the Inner Light. So come on up, Carylanne.
Thank you, Bruce. Good morning, everyone. You know, it's so interesting to hear other people speak about you. You know, because we don't always realize like who we are and what we do and how that kind of affects the world and the people around us. And listening to Bruce talk about me is so different than the way that I even feel about myself. And so thank you for helping me see myself in a different light today. And I also want to thank you for that amazing song. That was so fun and really, really so true. You know, we are at a place that is such an interesting time. We are in the midst of a huge paradigm shift. And I know everyone's feeling it. And this last couple of months in particular have just given us the opportunity to rise up and be more of who we are. And that's really what we came here to do. We came here to be a brilliant expression of ourselves. And when Bruce had asked me to speak today, and I was considering, you know, what would I even say, I turned to the Christ within and I heard, you are a brilliant expression of light. You are a brilliant expression of God. And that's who we are. All of us, every single one of us in here, right here and right now, and everyone we know. I have a funny story to tell you. During Christmas, I was online at the Michaels store. And it was a really long line because, you know, they have sales. They're practically giving their stuff away. And so I'm on this really long line, and this homeless gentleman comes up to the line. And no one really wants to look at him, and no one, you know, he's looking, and people are kind of looking down and looking away, which is something that, you know, we do from time to time. And I just looked at him and I said, "Hi." And he smiled. And, you know, I just reached in and gave him whatever. And he just looked at me. And he saw me. And I saw him. And that seems to be happening for me a lot. As I imagine it's happening for you a lot. You know, we're seeing the Christ in everyone, the light, whatever you perceive that to be. You know, Christ, in my understanding, is here for everybody. Everyone, every place, every age, every race, every creed, every color. I know that some of you know my story, that I was raised in the Jewish faith in this lifetime, and Christ was always there for me. Recently, I took a trip home to New York, and I hadn't been there in probably 25 years. And I went back to my hometown in Woodbury, and I went to the house that I was raised in, and the tree on the front lawn, which probably used to be as tall as that Christmas tree, now was probably more than double or triple the size. And I stood and I looked up at that tree, and I saw the light, just like I did when I was a little girl. And I took a picture of the tree, and I wanted to bring it, but I couldn't figure out how to show it to everybody. But when I was turning out of the neighborhood, right down the road is this amazing statue of Christ. And the first church that I went to was called the Holy Name of Jesus. And it was still there. And he was still there. And, you know, I had driven from here to there, and that was probably like an 8-hour drive. And everywhere I went, I was seeing license plates that said JC. And I said, I know something really amazing is going to happen on my trip. And it did. With a tree on my front lawn. And trees are very, very sacred to me. And we just keep moving forward. That's what we do. We keep moving forward, and in every way, we are given everything that we need at the perfect time to do that. Whether it's a helping hand, or a new job, or hearing something through someone else. You know, when Bruce was taking us through meditation, I felt everyone embraced in the presence, and the energy began to lift. Did everybody feel that? Did everybody feel that? That was pretty amazing from where we were before the meditation. And this wasn't even how I was going to start. So I was going to start by reading to you, I behold the Christ in you. Here the life of God I see. I can see this in you too. I can see you whole and free. I behold the Christ in you. I can see you as you walk. I see this in all that you do. I can see this as you talk. I behold God's love expressed, and I can see you filled with power. I can see you ever blessed. See Christ in you hour after hour. And my prayer and my wish for all of us is that we see that in each other every day. And we see it in ourselves. You know, I was writing down my notes for this talk, and I had received an email from Hay House, from Louise Hay, and she's doing this new mirror talking seminar. And I remembered the first time I did mirror talk. And mirror talk is when you look in the mirror and you say something really loving and positive to yourself, which a lot of us don't always do. And the first time I did it, I really had a hard time. Had a really hard time. And the more I did it, the more I saw the light of the Christ in my eyes. The more I saw the light that I am reflecting back at me. And, as Sarah takes us through the 7 terrace meditation and we get to the top, and we go out onto the white plain, and then we go to the water, and we immerse ourselves, and then we come out clean, and then we look and we see our reflection, our true reflection, which is light, which is love, which is peace, which is joy. That is who we are. That is who we came here to be. And you know what's really cool? That all of us do that in our own brilliant way. And I don't know how many of you may have seen a film that came out this year called The Greatest Showman. Did anyone see that? There's a scene in that film where all of these very unusual characters are brought together. And in The Greatest Showman, it's kind of the story of the man who created the Ringling Brothers, I believe. And but in this film, the people are all very, very different. And some people look at them as not whole. And there's a woman with a beard in the film. And she's so amazing and she's so beautiful. And when she sings, you can literally feel Creator expressing through her. I believe that Creator is expressing through all of us all the time, right now, in this moment. But she sings this song called This Is Me. And all of them are dancing and belting out this song. And I was sitting in the movies, with one of my dear friends watching this, and I got it. I am every one of them. We are every one of them. It doesn't matter what color my hair is or what color your hair is. It doesn't matter what you look like or how much money you have or how much money you don't have or where you came from or even what education you have. And education is awesome. It doesn't matter though. What matters is you being you. And this is this is at the crux of my wellness practice. This is at the crux of what I believe I came here to do, is to see the light in you and help you see it. See the beauty in you and help you see it. And we're all here to do that, and that's what we do here at this amazing church. That's what we do. We come here and we lift each other up and we see the Christ in each other. We see the beauty and the light and the promise of what we can be and what we are right now. It's not about, oh gosh, I hope in the new year I'll get to do this or I'll get to be that. You are it. We are it right now. Everything that we could possibly be, and even more, because every day we're becoming more of it. Every day, more and more and more, we're becoming more love and more peace and more light and more joy. And that's really all we want to do and all we want to be. I was rereading As a Man Thinketh, which is one of the most profound masterpieces of inspiration. And I'm hoping I can find this in my notes. He probably won't be able to find it. So James Allen speaks to us of what we say And what we think is what we experience. And I know he speaks it and says it a lot better than I am now, but I don't want to waste time looking for the notes. But what really, really spoke to me is that he said when we radically remember to mind our thoughts, our lives are transformed. And if you haven't read that book, which I imagine a lot of you have, pick it up. I mean, it is filled with absolute gems on every single page. And more I realize that it doesn't really matter what we didn't do. It doesn't matter if you didn't get to where you thought you were going. It doesn't matter if your dad or your mom wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer or even a candlestick maker. Like, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you be you and that you shine. We're here to shine. Because the more that we shine, the more that we help everyone else to shine. So I will leave you with this. This is a beautiful, beautiful, I'm going to call it a poem from Marianne Williamson from her book, Return to Love. Our deepest fear is not that we are weak. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. Who am I to be? Am I to be brilliant? Am I to be a speaker? Am I to be a singer? Am I to be a doctor? Am I to be an artist? Who am I to be? I am here to be the most brilliant expression of who I can be, and who you can be, and who we can be. You are a child of God. Playing small doesn't serve the world. I love that. Don't you love that? There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people will feel better. We are all meant to shine, to make manifest the glory of God, of the Creator within us. It is in every one of us as we let our light shine to be you, to be brilliant, to be free, to be beauty, to be joy, to be peace. And isn't that what Christ teaches us? To be peace, the Beatitudes, to be peace, to be love, to be brilliant, to be musical, to be happy, to be joy. That's who we're here to be. So as we take the last day tomorrow of this year of 2018, take a little time to reflect on this year, on your triumphs and your challenges and your joys and your hopes. And then take a moment, just as we did with Bruce, to imagine yourself standing with the Christ or the Buddha or whatever master that speaks to you, the Divine Mother, and co-create with that light, with that force. Because this is our year to shine, and we're going to do it. Thank you. Thank you.